We are live right now. What's up, Nathan? How you doing, man?
Woo! What's up, my man? I'm doing good. It is Friday. Got a
He's-
beautiful sun shining.
Dude,
Man,
you
we're
just
on day. We just finished up day 8 of the 30-day challenge.
yeah,
Man, it's good. I'm doing well.
dude, it's freezing here in Utah. How is it over there where you're at, Connecticut, right?
It's warm here today, dude. It's like when I went to the gym this morning, it was like 51 degrees out. So I
Yo,
can't complain.
lucky, dude. Because I just was knocking doors, showing people how to knock doors and get deals, and it was like 26 degrees out, bro. It was freezing. My fingers were on freezing cold.
Man, yeah, that's a little cold for DoorDash. I remember, it's funny. This one time, quick little random story. So I lived in Saugerties, like rural area, and I lived in like the rural part of Saugerties, like
Mhm.
right up by the mountain. Dude, one day it was cold. I don't know what the temperature was outside, but I mean, it was one of those days where it was like bitter cold, like stinging cold. And it was really windy. And I remember there was a knock at the door. And now, one rural area, like you never get a knock on the door unless like you're expecting one. And if you're not expecting a knock on the door, like you come out with a shotgun kind
Yeah,
of thing.
you're like, who the heck is knocking on my door?
Right. Like that's where I lived. And so I knock at the door and there's this dude door knocking for like solar. And he had like this whole gear and like a GoPro cam or something. I don't know. But I was like, dude, he is about it.
Yeah, he was serious, man.
I wish
Yeah,
I'd kept his card. He probably kills it in sales.
oh, guaranteed, man. And that's what I was telling people when I was knocking earlier today. If you guys that are watching live, I went door knocking this morning, marked some leads, and was making offers and trying to network. I tried to network with the mailman. I tried to get the mailman to mark properties for me. A guy, the Amazon lady, I stopped her in the middle of the road and said, "Hey, will you, you selling your house?" I thought it was just a random person that lived there, but it was the Amazon, delivery lady. Anyway, the key is just having conversations and talking to people. So thankfully, it's Deal Finding Friday with Privy, and what we're going to do is we're going to have some conversations. Because guys, when you make offers to agents, don't always think you have to get that deal. Obviously, you want to get that deal, but it's a lot of it goes into networking and having that relationship and taking that agent and putting them in a drip campaign and following up with them. That's how it really you get deals. I had a meeting. I have a monthly meetup here in Utah, and one of the a good flipper, like a good friend of mine that flips a lot of properties. He doesn't spend any money on marketing. All he does is he just networks and calls agents, and that's how he's done, I think, 65 flips so far. So yeah, he's crushing it. But yeah, so that's why we are here on that privy call. Nathan, you ready to get it, bro?
Yeah, man. Bro, what you're preaching is literally what happened yesterday. I've been using for our 30-day challenge. Privy is a tool that I've primarily been using, and I called an agent on a property yesterday that is a good fit for what I'm looking for. And for me, I didn't make an offer on the phone. I threw out like kind of some feelers to kind of get where they're at, but they weren't ready for kind of that investor offer yet.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so rather than like just making an offer or just trying to get just that deal, did exactly what you're talking about, right? Set up that relationship. Hey, do you happen to have any others? Well, hey, save my number. When I do look to buy a property, it's an all cash offer. Can close really quick. Save my number. You can call, text me anytime, and set it up where I was like, hey, I'll tell you what. I'd love to stay in touch. If for whatever reason, I'll reach back out, either text or call 3 weeks from now. And if for whatever reason circumstances changed or whatever the case may be with this house, maybe we can revisit the conversation and figure out an offer that's a good fit then.
I love it.
And she loved it. And so boom, that's person out of the database. We'll get to follow up and yeah, see what happens.
That's it. That's exactly right. Because I had another call with an agent like that yesterday where he had found a property in the area I was looking for in Atlanta, but he primarily worked in a different area. And he was like, "Do you want? I've come across a lot of stuff in this area. Would you want to look at it?" And I'm like, "I don't really look in that area, but send it my way if it makes sense. I can either buy it or wholesale it, right?" And he's like, "Okay, So there's nothing wrong when you network with an agent. Tell him you wholesale. Like most, again, I've said this many times, if you're a professional investor, like of course you know what wholesaling is, and of course you've done it, or you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I one more quick thing I want to. This is actually with just like talking to anybody kind of thing. So I was calling title companies to find cash buyers, and in that conversation, ended up the assistant that helps the woman at the title company. Her assistant, he's looking to do wholesaling. So basically, I had a chat with him, and he's on board to where he's out looking for deals. I'm kind of coaching him on what to do, how to find them, and he's basically bringing deals to me. But I'd never even thought of this before. He just hit me up like 2 days ago about it. He was like, "Oh, hey," he's like, "We have a wholesale deal at the title company." He's like, "I'm pretty sure it's going to fall through this Friday." He's like,
Really?
and I know the seller wants to just sell it cash and he's pretty frustrated. So he's like, if this falls through, he's like, I'm gonna call him through and we'll be the first ones on it. And I'm like, I've never thought of that. Like networking specifically with people at title for like, hey, like save me as the guy for when a deal falls through and you need something to close.
Yes,
Like I'm your
yes.
guy. Dude, that could be such a good ninja move right there.
No, for sure. And that's what I've been saying to these agents is like when I call them, I network with them. If I can't get the deal like there, right, I'll just say, hey, look, I'm quick. If you give me a deal and you run into a seller who like doesn't want to list it and you just want an offer, dude, I'll give you an offer like as soon as you text me. Like I'll be your go-to because that's what agents want. They run into tons of people that are like, look, I just want a cash offer, right? Like I don't even know if I want to list it. And if you can be their go-to person that can just give them offers, right? That you can go through with, yeah, they'll use you all the time, right?
100%, man.
So we have Henry from our program mentorship, and he's on here. He loves using Privy, and Benson Juarez, he just texted me, who owns Privy. He's hopping on this call too. So we're gonna have some awesome all-star lineup. We're gonna say hi to Henry right now. Yo, Henry, what's up, brother?
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
What's
hey,
up, dude?
Henry.
Henry, I know you had a property that you had on Privy. You were asking what offer you should make on it, right?
Yes, so I'm actually find this property on the MLS, and then
Okay.
I contact the realtor, and then they told me that contact directly with the homeowner. So
Okay.
I called her yesterday, and then I offer her like 60K.
Okay.
But she denied my offer. She told me that
Gosh,
her
dang.
property had like two lots or something like that, and then she won 100K for her property.
100K
So
for your property and you offered her 60?
yes,
Way to go.
based on her this property already break down so bad, so it's it
Yeah,
need
yeah.
a full rehab.
Mhm.
So that's why I came up with the 60K, the AFV around. Let's see, what is the AFV around one.
Peggy just sorry, Peggy just asked, is this live? Yes, it is, Peggy. Anyway, yeah, Henry. So this is what happens. Sometimes when you make offers to agents, they're not always going to accept, but the follow-up game is pretty important. That's what me and Nathan are talking about. We're talking about it's not always about winning that offer. It's about establishing relationships. So you could talk to that agent and say, hey, look, I'm ready to go. But can you please keep me in mind? And you want to be able to network, right? And that's what I want to show you today. I want to make some calls and show you all like how to network with agents. And not every agent's gonna be cool with networking with you, right? So it's just looking to find those people. I know I called the cash buyer about a deal I was trying to wholesale yesterday that I found through JVing, and the buyer that I tried to find, he was like not trying to talk to me at all. He was like, man, I'm busy, I got stuff to do, blah blah blah. So sometimes you catch people in the middle of something. Sometimes they just don't feel like it's worth their time. It's totally fine, right? Uh,
No, so this actually I talking directly with the homeowner, not through the agent anymore.
that's really interesting. So the agent that listed the property said talk to the seller.
Yeah, talk to the seller directly.
It must be one of these flat fee listing places where they just list it and then they direct everything to the seller. So there's some flat fee listing services that do that, Henry.
Uh, I'm not sure about that. It listed directly on the
You want
on
me
my
to call it? You want me to call that seller? Let me see if I can negotiate something with that seller. You want me to try?
yes. So let me put her phone number and then the address in
Call it,
the.
Henry. I love how much you take action, dude. Everyone take note from our guy Henry.
Uh, uh, I already called her yesterday, and then I told her that my partner Nathan will call you back today.
All right,
Yeah.
Henry. All right. Don't always promise that because I'm not always free, but I can help you out right now. Let's do it.
All right. So let me.
Guys, just a real quick back, like this is the like what I don't know, the fourth or fifth property, Henry, that I've heard you kind of bring to the table in like honestly in the last like 4 weeks. Like 4 or 5 like hot leads, hot properties that you're working and in negotiation with. And that's a lot, you know, in that kind of period of time to have that much going on. That's awesome. I love it.
Hey, if Benson, if you're watching this, Benson, hop in the call. I sent you the link. We're just gonna help Henry call some people, and we're gonna call some agents, show people how to use the software. All right.
And I would love to ask Benson some questions on Privy while I've been using it.
Yeah,
I could use
Pedro
the
says,
help.
"Go, Henry." Henry, you got some fans out here, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. All right. You got the number for me, Henry?
Yes, I put in the private chat her property address and her name and her phone number.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Give me a second. Let me get all this ready because I got a call. Let's see. And you ran the numbers on this, right? You to see what this is a house. Yes, it is a house. As I'm looking at it.
Yeah, the ARV around 170K.
Yeah, you did need to be at 60K. This thing needs some work, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's in a full rehab.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the kind of conversation I'm gonna have with the seller is just, try to get to the bottom, of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Okay, let me give her a call. Benson. Oh, we got the goat here. We got Benson on. How you doing?
Guys.
Hi, Benson.
Hey,
What's going on, everyone?
Yeah, we're making calls. We're taking action.
I saw that. I'm excited. This is what I love seeing. It's so cool. You're just like, let's just call him.
Yeah, let's do it. That's I think that's what people want to see. They want to see the calls. They want to see
And then I saw you take your jacket off, and I'm like, things are
getting
about to get
serious.
real.
Benson, I'm curious. Could you help us out with this? So Henry has the address in the private chat. If you can see it, I was wondering if you could help us show everybody real quick before we call it in Privy. How just kind of give us a rundown on.
Could you repost that? I don't think it.
Yeah. And then I'll call the seller. I just wanted you to, because you're the expert,
Okay.
Did
I'll
you
look
see
at it? I do. I see it now.
Okay. Yeah, take over, share. And I'm curious because I know sometimes when I try to search the property just directly in Privy, just put the address, sometimes I have trouble finding it. So I wanted to see the best way to do it.
Now, to be clear, this one is in Houston, which we don't have direct to MLS data in yet.
Yeah.
We're working on it, but I can see here, I can see the property. So I'll look at it. Go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah. So for I understand that you don't have the MLS data there, but does it still show some like the listings that are available in that area, but just not the data?
Well, we have the data. It's just not direct from MLS.
Right.
So we still have the listing here. It looks like it's, let's see here. It's for sale for what, 119 now? Oh, what's it for sale? Oh, it's for 100,000 now.
100,000. Yeah. And Henry made an offer at 60K.
Mm-hmm. So 100,000. Looking in the area here.
Do you mind sharing your screen?
Sure. Yeah. Let me do that one moment.
Henry was saying that this one, he called the agent and they directed him to the seller. And I was telling him that there's sometimes there's flat fee listing services that will just directly put you in touch with the owner.
That's probably what that is.
Yeah. Which is kind of nice, you know, you can negotiate right with the seller.
Yeah, it's like a lot of these people like or get comfortable with the off-market scenario, and they get comfortable with that piece of it. And honestly, I don't think people should be as afraid of agents as they are. Like they're just normal people, and honestly, most of them don't know the investment side of the business as well as you do. You guys, like they just don't. Most of them are retail, agents. They don't understand the real estate investment side of it. You come in and you say the word, creative or terms, and their heads explode. Like they just don't get it.
Yeah, it's true. The thing that's cool as I talk to more and more agents, it's they want to work with you. They want to have those relationships just as bad as you do. And some might, right? Some might not, and that's okay. But there are a lot of agents that they live to network, right? That's how they make money.
Yep.
So by you calling them, it's very helpful.
Okay, so here's that property. Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So the house itself is it's 1,100 square feet. The algorithm we just launched a new feature today, you guys. The new comp adjuster.
Okay.
So when we first show you the property, we show you the most relevant comparables based off of the property itself. So we match up levels. We have a square foot tolerance. We have a 1 mile. A half a mile from the center to the edge, and a bunch of other things. But when you click the settings, now this opens up the adjuster, and you can actually adjust the comp radius here, the delta for the square footage, the delta for the lot itself. If you want a certain number of bedrooms or bathrooms, you can adjust all of that. But what I'm noticing here is that this house is 1,100 square feet. So we've got 3 comps here, okay, for this house. Now, if you can get it for 100, well, there's a house here this one sold for 204. So that one that sold for 204, that's a newer listing, so you probably wouldn't want to use that one unless this is a teardown. So that's telling us that this is a potential teardown. If you get it for $60,000, and there's new construction that's selling for 204, well, that actually might be a potential teardown if you can find a teardown buyer.
Right.
So if you take $60,000 divided by an ARV of 204,000, that's 29%. That actually could be a good teardown deal.
And on those comps that sold, can you see if those were new builds?
This one right here in the year built.
Oh, the year built. That's where you saw it. Okay.
Gotcha. Now this one went for 193. So if he has a buyer, and again, this is based off of what the original listing was. We didn't because it's third party. We didn't see that price reduction yet because it just happened. When it's direct to MLS, we will see it. But at 100,000, if the ARV is 193, you're at around 52% of the ARV.
Yeah.
I bet you there's buyers that will buy it at 52%. Right around 100. You don't have to get it for 60 grand for this to be a deal. You have to have a buyer who is motivated to do this deal. If you got a buyer who will buy something, and actually, Henry, this is a good question. What percentage of ARV will your buyers buy at?
Henry's pretty new. That's I don't think Henry. You probably wouldn't. Do you have any buyers at the moment, Henry, that you know what they're buying at in that area?
Not right now. So I'm focused on finding a deal first, and I'm using your calculator. So it needs to be at least a net profit around 15 to 20%. Then that's a good deal for me.
Yeah. So what I teach people just on a different calculator I have, Benson, is if the flipper after expenses everything can make a net profit of 15% on the flip, 15 to 20, it's usually a deal for them. But so that's usually that usually works across all in the United States.
So Henry, let me ask you, if you get this thing under contract, who are you going to sell it to?
Let's see, maybe some flipper or another buyer list or someone like that?
He's not sure. It's okay. It's all right, Henry.
It is. So what I would suggest, Henry, is to actually start to build your buyers list concurrently, so that if you lock this property up, you're not stressed out over the next 10 to 14 days trying to dispo it. You already have some people that are there that want deals from you, and you can get those buyers right off of Privy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I would definitely suggest that you look at the investor activity in this area, and we can do that too. I'm not sure how much time you got, Nathan, and I don't want to dominate this. I
Oh
just
no, you're
came
good.
to watch. I
I
just wanted to
ask a quick question. So when you search 8010, let's just say you just logged into Privy and you want to
Mhm.
search just that property itself. Whenever I put it into the search tab and just search it, for some reason mine doesn't just bring up the property. What am I doing wrong? Well, that's a bad question. But is that how you would search a property specifically? Is you just put it in the search tab and
yeah, you just type it right in.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it'll show the matches there. So you start to type it in, or you can cut and paste it. Typically, I mean, yeah, you just type it in 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll show the matches. You just select it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm just curious for some because every time the last time I tried to do it, it just wasn't maybe I didn't let it populate when I was searching it, but
Could be. I'm not sure about that, but no, I just put the address right here into it and it found it. And then, I'm looking at the comps, and then I can adjust this to see if there's anything else, because we have a really tight criteria for square footage. We use 20% or 10% to start, but let's increase this a little bit. That might bring in another data point or two. Yeah, we brought in another data point. Now we're at 197 on this house that sold. That's 1946. That's a relevant comparable. You probably don't want to make this much larger, the zone. But I would say based off of this, like an ARV on this reasonably is right around 190 to 200.
Okay. Yeah, and if this is let's just say it's not a tear down, someone can go in there and fix it up. Getting it at 60 would work, right? Because if you ran the numbers, that would give you enough spread.
It would. This right here, these numbers are based off of this, and if you can get it at 100,000, let's be conservative. Let's say it's 90 or 190.
Mm-hmm.
So if we got it at 60,000 and the ARV is 190,000, that's 31% of the ARV. That's an amazing deal. If you got it for 90,000, and that maybe this is the 60 is probably where Henry used your calculator, right, to get to that return on investment.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at it from a percentage of ARV range, in these lower priced homes, the percentage of ARV drops, right, to make all the costs, which is why your calculator is probably doing its job and getting that low. But if you're just looking at percentage of ARV, and we're at 47% if you got it for 90 grand. But I would say a reasonable ARV for this house is right around 190, and it could be even higher. This one's a 2.1. This is a 3.2.
Yeah. Can you see the pictures on that one? The active that we're looking at?
We're not. I'm looking at these ones that are sold. No, this one here, the active. We look at that one.
Yeah. Can we see what that one looks like?
So this is gonna be a third party one.
Yeah, it doesn't even really look like that one's even too spiffed up, is it?
That's a street view.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's a street view, but it was flipped. You saw the before and after there?
Yeah.
This is the after.
Oh yeah, that does look like they really spiffed that one up then, huh?
But because this is not direct to MLS,
yeah,
there's another click, and then you have to look at the other photos.
Yeah, which is fine. That's just how it is on all platforms, you know. You got to take that extra step, which is fine. They did it. Look at that.
Yeah, this one hasn't sold yet, right? It hasn't sold, so this is priced too high. So the ARV is not 269 on our house.
Right. Got it.
But we do know we have these solds that are here that that we can use.
Benson, quick question. I apologize if you already answered this.
No, jump in, man.
For the sold date on the ones that come up, so I've been using, so kind of for the 30-day challenge, Nathan and I have been doing. I've been primarily using Privy and looking to use John Galen's kind of method.
Yeah.
With implementing it. So I've been kind of looking at Privy and I'm brand new to Privy and I've been loving it so far. By the way, it's amazing. Oh my gosh. I wish I knew about this tool a long time ago.
Awesome.
But my question is, so the initial comps that pop up there on the bottom, how far back will it go for a sold date? And then what I've typically been doing is I'll pop into the setting. Also love that feature that I've been using it, and then I just saw you update it, and I was like, oh wow, this is awesome.
The settings, this new comp adjuster.
Yeah, that really is that's awesome. So my question is so I'll look at the comps there, and then I typically would hit all activity and then look at it. I guess for the initial comps, how far back does it go for a sold date? And then when you hit all activity, what does that include? And I guess how far does it go for that as far as sale date and whatnot?
It'll still, this is 8 months is what we go back, and then you can sort by sold, and it will show you the most relevant, most recent comparables first. But depending upon your market and how tight you want, you can adjust the date range, the sold date range. So if you don't want anything back further than say like 4 months, you might come back to like November 10th, right? And then that will cut it off. But we can look at these comps right here and see like the most recent comparable sold. And this is the new construction one. So if we decide we're not doing new construction, let's hide this. Now we're looking at, again, you could adjust it, but we can quickly see that the most recent one is October 5th.
Okay. Awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
And so you can make this range to whatever you want it to be, but standard is 8 months.
Okay, the standard's 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Benson, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes. So, where can I go borrow the EMD money? Because most of the contract, the Texas agents, they written in there like they only allow me 3 days to transfer the money, the EMD money to the title company.
Right.
And then I asked them to do that after the inspection day, but they don't allow that. So how can I go with the issue?
It's a challenge when you do on market. That's an additional logistical challenge you have to figure out a way around. There are some places where you can go to borrow that. I don't know if we would talk about it here, Nathan.
Yeah, Henry,
Yeah.
I can answer that question. But
Yeah.
what's happening, Henry, is they're just trying to vet serious people, right? Because if you aren't prepared with the buyer in place and you can't like run that by someone within 3 days, they're trying to avoid getting locked up by someone's just going to waste their time, right? So what I would recommend for anybody watching this is if you don't have buyers in place that can't give you an answer within 3 days, then you need to work on that, because that's how I'm avoiding that problem. If someone's like, hey, I need my earnest money down within 3 days, great, I can do that for you. And I know if it's a deal within 3 days. And if not, I'm canceling the contract, right? Or I'm buying it myself. So Benson, that's the quick way for me to answer that. I'm assuming you would say something like that, right?
For sure. Yeah. And that, what you're talking about, Henry, those are the terms. There's the price, which is the 60 grand, whatever you determine. And there's the terms, and the terms is everything else. The terms is the earnest money amount, the time by which you have to deposit the earnest money. That's the earnest money deposit deadline. Then you have your inspection period, which is the most important term, how long you have to market that thing. And then you have your closing date, how long it's going to be. Typical is 30 days. So those are all negotiable. You don't have to put earnest money down.
Yeah.
At all. Now, if you submitted an offer without earnest money, that significantly lowers the chances of your offer being accepted, but it isn't necessary. what else could you do to the thing to make it better? Right. And this is what a lot of people do when they do creative, right, Nathan? Like, yeah, well, I can give you, your price if you give me better terms.
Right.
Right. That's the whole philosophy behind it. So you can ebb and flow where you need to get the deal done. But what I would say, Henry, is do everything you can to get $500. Like, just go find $500, put it in your bank account, and use it. Can you do this business without any money of your own? Yeah, but it's a lot harder.
Yeah, so most of the agent they require at least 1% of the purchase price as a EMD money. So yeah, so that why I asked you guys where to borrow the EMD money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Henry, I can answer those questions for you later, but yeah, those are all good questions. But it's usually the negotiating that you got to get a little bit better with the agents, because if an agent's like, I need 1%, I would say I don't do that, so I'm not putting down 1% just to buy your house. I'm buying this for cash. I can move quickly. If you want to work with me, great. But it just takes time to know how to talk to these agents. I'm assuming a lot of these agents, I've heard you talk, and I'm not calling you out in front of everybody. I'm just saying, like, it takes time to be a little bit more fluid on these calls. So I think a lot of agents are pushing back on you a little bit. But it's good that you're making these offers because you're getting better. That's how you get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say we're gonna keep practicing. I'll keep working with you. That's why we have you on here, Henry, is because you're out here taking action, and I appreciate it.
There might be somebody in your community, Nathan, that wants to work with Henry, who has the $500 that will put it down with them, right? And then you guys could JV on it, and maybe they even have a buyer.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of things you can do.
I've been seeing the comments that are coming through here, and we got quite a few people. Henry, this guy on Facebook said, Henry, I have an active buyer I just talked to yesterday, and he's ready to buy right now in Houston. Let's squat up and get this money. So there's Henry. After this call, take a look at the comments. There's a lot of people in here that want to help you. And that's the beauty of being able to network and do these calls, because no one here needs to feel like they're alone. Everybody wants to help each other out, because that's how you do deals, right? So,
yeah, there's several people here.
Yeah.
It looks like the Facebook one, though, it doesn't say their name for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason on StreamYard that you have to kind of sign into StreamYard for it to allow the name to show. So it's all good.
So for those Facebook people, if you want to connect with Henry, I don't know how to connect these guys, but
yeah, Henry can go into these the call that's either on your YouTube channel that we're on or on our Facebook groups, and he can just read the comments, or you guys can reach out to Henry. He's in my Facebook group or our Discord channel, so you'll be able to connect there. But yeah, Henry, love the action. Let's call this seller. How about we do that?
Can't wait for the call.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I just want to make sure that from the comps that I ran, that you ran, Benson, and what I'm looking at, that 190 looks like the ARV. So right now she's currently accessing. So Henry already made an offer at 60. She denied it and said, I want 100, right? So she's not willing to negotiate at the point to 60. So I was going to call her and see what I could do.
Love it.
So, but I'm going to try and get it at 70. That's my goal, right? We'll see how it goes. I love it. There's so many people in this chat that are asking questions, and I love it. But we'll be able to get to your guys' questions at the end. Let's give this person a call, and let's see how it goes. All right. Let's give her. Do you have her name, Henry? I don't think you sent her name through.
Yes. Let me send her name again.
4. Okay. Let me see if I can get it done, guys. See if I can lock it up.
Hello.
Hi, is this Thu?
Yes.
Thu, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Hey, I'm calling about the house that you have listed on 8010 Miley Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a couple minutes to chat, or did I catch you at a bad time?
No, you can talk.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm looking at the property. Actually, Henry, that I work with, he told me to give you a call. I think he made you an offer yesterday. Does that sound right?
Yeah, laughable offer.
Oh man.
$60,000.
Well, did it? I hope it didn't offend you.
It's It's okay.
Have you been? I'm just curious. Have you been getting a lot of offers that are low like that, or not really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they give me 80, I reject. They give me 90, I still reject. And this guy gave me $60,000. I'm like,
Well,
I'm a flipper myself.
Oh,
so
okay.
I know the game.
Is that what you were doing with this property that we're looking at right now? Were you planning on
No,
flipping it?
I'm switching to new build, so that's why I'm not fixing it up and I'm selling as is.
Oh, okay. So if you're looking, you're doing new build. So I come across a lot of properties that a lot of land as well. So maybe we could network outside of this deal, and I could bring you some stuff. Are you looking to buy like land at the moment?
Not at the moment. I already have 2 projects that I'm gonna build.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna concentrate on that.
Well, I'm curious. I like to network and find out what kind of new builds are you doing? Are these single family or
Single and duplexes.
Oh, okay. Wow, cool. Have you been doing this for a while?
Yeah, a few years.
Wow.
But I've been flipping for 5-6 years now, but I'm gonna I don't enjoy flipping anymore, so I'm gonna go to new build. But anyway, on this house, are you guys looking to fix and flip, or are you looking to wholesale?
We do both, but primarily, I would be looking to flip it if I can get it the right price. If I can't get it at the right price, I'd probably try and give it to one of my buyers because I do wholesale.
Okay. Well, I just reduced the price to 100.
I did see that. Yeah.
I want a quick sale.
Okay.
Cash offer, 7-day closing, no option period. So if you, are you interested, or you just looking to get a deal and bring your buyer in?
I personally live in Salt Lake City, Utah. Henry lives in Houston, so that's why we're looking at this deal.
So is he an experienced flipper, or he just find a deal for you?
He finds a deal for me. So I either buy it, or because I actually coach Henry, so I either buy it or I help him wholesale it, right?
Okay, so both of you are wholesaler. If you have buyer, send them there.
Okay.
I'll give you the code for them to take a look.
Okay.
And then if they are interested, then we'll talk.
So let me ask you this, because I understand where you're coming from. If we can find a buyer for it, but they come back lower than 100, like what are you open to? Because I don't want to waste your time and bring back a bunch of offers that stink.
Yeah, they waste both of your time.
Yeah, I don't want to waste your time too.
Okay, well.
But I'm just curious, if they come in, what is the lowest you would accept? I know you said you have it for 100, but I have to put my fee on there too if I were to bring a buyer. What's the lowest that you would accept? And I can see if maybe I can get it done.
The lowest I accept, I would give maybe 3,000 to 5,000 maximum on this deal.
What do you mean 3,000 to 5,000 maximum? Like 3,000 to 5,000 less than 100, or?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have like a ton of wiggle room on like getting it down to like 82 or 83.
It's from 119 down to 100. That's $19,000 off. So that's my wiggle room right there. Okay.
Yeah. And one last question for you, Thu. Since you purchased this and you're probably going to flip it, what do you have the ARV at? What do you believe that you could flip this?
190.
190.
About 190. But this one, if I don't sell, I'm probably gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Split the lot, sell the lot, or do a new build on the lot,
Gotcha.
And then rehab the house.
You know, it's funny. I use a software called Privy to run my comps, and 190 is exactly what I got. So do you use Privy as well?
No, I use HAR. You know, you can run comp on the HAR.
Oh, okay.
But
the HAR.
The 190, if you just buy the house and fix it and sell for 190, you won't make a lot of profit.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
The profit comes from the extra lot of the house.
Yeah, no, I see that. So there's an extra lot if you purchase this home. Is that what you're saying?
This house is built on 2 lots.
2 lots, okay. Well, I appreciate you being open to work with me, whether I buy it or I wholesale it. Have a lot of wholesalers approached you already about this and tried to bring buyers to you?
They approached me. They want to sign a contract to, 30-day closing, 7 days option period, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I'm a wholesaler. I know the game.
Of course.
Bring the buyer. If you have a buyer, then lock it and close it. Because I'm not going to do option period and all that crap.
I totally get it. Why would you get locked up with a wholesaler? Why they bring your buyer or not, right? Quit wasting your time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I know what I do, and I'm doing the same. So why would I want them to lock up the house so they can do whatever?
Okay.
But anyway, cash.
Yeah.
Close, quick close, in and out. Okay.
It's
a full rehab. There is one story with the house, blah, 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 blah. I'm not a distressed seller. I'm not the regular, people who face foreclosure and all that.
Yeah, I get it. And I appreciate your transparency. And, if this one doesn't work, I'd love to continue to work with you because I do find deals in Houston. So maybe we can work together. We can JV. You could help me find a buyer. Who knows?
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay. All right, Thu. You have a great day. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So, Henry, off of that conversation, I was able to find out that no wonder she's not going to accept your offer. She's a wholesaler. She's a flipper. She's experienced. She doesn't want to get locked up by anybody. She's just like, hey, bring me a buyer and we're good to go. Throw your fee on top. So it's interesting. I'm sure. I mean, that's easy, right? She's giving us the lockbox code. We can send this out to our list. Everyone that's watching this live, go ahead, give it a shot.
Yeah, she asking for only 7 day closing and then no option periods.
Yeah. Well, you really don't need an option period because if you can just send your buyers through and with a lockbox code and they can just give you an offer and commit. That's all she's asking for. So she's basically just saying, go ahead and wholesale this thing.
Henry, and also you got your first buyer.
Yeah, she's a buyer. Yeah.
She's a legitimate buyer on your list now. Now you can say you have buyers.
Oh, yeah.
She gave exactly her buying criteria. She says, I'm not really flipping. I'm looking for new construction. I'm doing new construction, single family duplexes, right? So if you find anything that meets that criteria, she's perfect.
Oh, yeah. Also, so she the builder, right? Or she a flipper?
No, she has been flipping for the last 4 or 5 years, but she's looking to build now. That's what she wants.
Oh, I see.
So
yeah, that was a great call, Nathan. Really good.
Thank you.
Very smooth. Like you guys, anybody watching that is like textbook rapport building and smooth operatorness. Like that was really good. So watch this one over and over again, you guys, because that's how you do it.
Benson, I appreciate that. And what I would do in this situation, everyone that's watching, I would start calling some buyers and I would get Thu's information and I'd say, what's the lockbox code? Let me send my people through and add your fee on top. She said she would go down $3,000 to $5,000. So if you can get someone at 95 or 95 and you throw your fee on $4K, you may, she's okay. She's willing to take 95. You gave it to your buyer for 99. You made 4,000. It's not a giant payday, but this is why Privy is so amazing. Because instead of you having to pull a giant list, contact a bunch of sellers, call thousands of people, you have someone that's like, look, I have a property I need to sell. Like, I want to sell this. So you just bypass the whole first part of the process of finding a deal, right? Or negotiating one. You have one. Now just bring a buyer to it and you make money, right?
Yeah. Good find, Henry. This is perfect.
Yeah, great job.
A few
Henry.
more of these, man, and you'll be on this call teaching. So just keep working at it.
Yeah. And I love Henry because he takes action, man. And that's such a good thing to see. Because Benson, I know you probably talk to a lot of people where they're like, man, I'm not seeing any results. And then when you comes down to them, like, how many calls have you really made? And they're like 20 this year.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's it. So Henry is just taking action, and that's all it takes. So good job, Henry.
Thank you.
Yeah, Henry, great work, man. Very good.
Cool. So next step, I would just say we can wrap this thing up, and there's not much more to say other than Henry. You know what you need to do. You need to find some buyers. ask through for the lockbox code, send them through, and try to get those buyers down to try to get them to buy it for around 90. Well, honestly, they can buy it for anything above 95 because she's willing to. She said she'll take 95 pretty much, right? So if you get a buyer to buy it at like 105, 100, 110, you know, you get to make anything above that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Benson, if we've got like an extra minute or two, if you guys got to run, that's totally okay. Just
I got time. You can ask something. Benson, do you have to go anywhere?
No, I've got about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Let's.
Okay, my questions probably only take about 5, maybe. One of my questions is, I'd love it for the filter, if you could just explain to me the ARV percentage a little bit, and kind of what exactly that's taking, you know, a percentage of. And then 2, so one of the ways I've been using Privy is where I'm creating my searches and then, you know, setting those up so that they get emailed to me whenever there's a new property that hits that criteria. When I go through, so for example, one of my criteria, I have 2 sets of searches that are separated by days on market. You know, one's kind of 0 to 49 days and another one's 50 plus. I'm curious if when I'm looking at a property and if I look at it and say, I'm like, okay, no, it's not a good fit for me right now. And it's in 0 to 49 days. Let's say it was just listed today. And I then move that property in a different list of mine to just kind of keep it sorted for myself inside of Privy. Will I get an email of that same property when it hits the 50 days plus, if it meets that filter's criteria?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I think it would, though. I think it would. That's the kind of the whole thing, is that whenever it meets the criteria, it will send you an alert. So we should test that by creating a shorter time period, so we don't have to wait 50 days, and see if it does. That's the way it's designed to work. I know it does from a status perspective. So like, let's say for example, you had a criteria set up for active listings, right? Well, let's say a house goes under contract. Well, sometimes you'll see an alert on a house that shows up. You're like, wait a second, this thing it's 30 days on market. Why is it showing up on my list right now? It's because it changed status. It went from under contract, now it's active again. And the filter was set up for active listings. That's what triggered the new alert. So it is designed to do that from either from under contract to active, or a price reduction as well. So let's say you set it at 70% of the ARV and it was at 71%, but then they do a $10,000 price reduction and now it's at 68. That'll trigger an alert. So anything in the filter that makes it match will trigger an alert.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what kind of what I thought it you know, of how it worked, but that's how I was hoping it would. I love that. And then if you could just kind of touch on and explain a little bit, the ARV in the filter box, the percentage that we're kind of able to kind of move around and adjust there. If you could just kind of unpack that for me a little bit of, you know, when I'm moving that's like 70%, 60%, 75, whatever. What exactly is that taking a percentage of? You know, what is
the ARV, right? So we're all familiar with the Zestimate, right? The Zestimate is what they call an automated valuation model. So they take a lot of the comparables, they use an algorithm to figure out algorithmically what the after repair value is. But we also know that Zillow, their iBuyer system, the Zestimate offers, I can't remember what it was called now. It failed, right? And it failed because they were using their automated valuation model. They were using the Zestimate to write offers. So automated valuation models don't work, right? Zillow's got the most expensive, they're $1 billion company, algorithm to find deals. It doesn't work. So we don't use an automated valuation model. We use the actual sold properties as a measurement of what the ARV is. And then we just compare the ask price of the house to the price of what a property sold for. And if that property that's sold was renovated, then that's the ARV. And then we compare the ask price of the home to the price of that sold flip. So let me demonstrate this real quickly. So right here at the top, you see all this fix and flip button. This will help us identify where all of the investor activity is nationwide. You want to target the areas that have high investor activity because those are the data points that you're going to use to prove ARV to your buyer. It's also what's going to be what's used for yourself to determine ARV. We saw how we were looking at those properties that we were using on Henry's deal. None of those houses were flipped. So we couldn't say that those were ARVs for sure because we didn't know that it was purchased, fixed up, and sold. This here will make it easier for everyone here to understand what the after repair value is of the house you're evaluating. So don't go look for deals in Western Kansas. Don't go look for properties in Colby, right? Because no one's doing flips there. So let's say, for example, we were talking about Dallas earlier, I think.
Yes, Dallas or Houston.
So if we come in here to Dallas, this has direct to MLS, so we can get around many of the issues that makes it difficult to find properties in Texas. So we drill down here, and this is going to show us all the fix and flips in the neighborhood. So this is where you want to look for deals, whether or not you're doing on-market deals or whether you're doing off-market deals. And the reason is because you have all these renovated comps as evidence of what ARV is. So if I drive for dollars here, or if I knock on doors, or if I pull a list of foreclosures from Privy, we give you up to 10,000 off-market exports per month. This is where you want to be. That's, again, whether on-market or off-market. But an on-market strategy won't work as often in areas that have low investor activity. The whole strategy for on-market, especially for ones where you're going to get in there early before everybody else, is that you want an unrenovated home that's right down the street from a home that's renovated. And if that unrenovated home is priced appropriately, it doesn't have to be priced at a discount, like significant discount from retail. Even if it's priced at retail, but in its as-is condition, it can still be a deal, but only if it's down the street from a renovated house that's a comp. So the whole strategy is to put yourself in these neighborhoods. So let's say we realize that we need to be at 60% of the ARV for this. We talk to our buyers, we look at the sold properties, and we look at the data, and that's what we realize. Let's look at this flipped house right here. We come down to the before and after. We can see here that this was an off-market deal that they did at 62% of the ARV.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of people think, oh, well, you can't get on-market deals low. Well, I've seen stuff at 20, 30, 40% every day. There's people that are doing off-market that are spending money to find leads that are paying 62%. Well,
Right.
Who is that? Well, it's BT Construction. This is what you should be doing, Henry, is building your buyers list at the same time. Do your local market research, look at all the flipped properties, figure out who these people are, and then you building your buyers list while you're doing your research. So 62%. So let's just say we can find something that lower than 62%. Let's set it to 60. So we have this really cool button right here. It's called Find Similar Active Deals. What that does is it takes all of these closed deals and it uses it as a model for what a successful deal looks like. And then we reverse engineer it and find houses at a discount. So I click Find Similar Active Deals, and now it's running comps on all the houses in this area. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this because in that standard filter, we have it set to 75. But let's put it at 60 because we know that BT will buy at 62% in the right situation. And let's also say that maybe BT Construction tells us that they don't want to spend more than, say, 300 grand. So we can basically build their buy box in Privy and get alerts, automated alerts, just by clicking save. And it will email us every time a property is found that meets the buying criteria of BT Construction. Let's go ahead and rerun that. And now it's showing us these properties right here. So these are all potential deals. Now, what is it comparing, to answer your question directly? So what it's comparing is it's looking at this property right here that we can get for 180 grand. And then it's comparing it to properties that are in the area. So let's see something here. Did I actually 60%? Okay. So what it's comparing is the ask price of the home to the price of the comps. And then it shows us the percentage. So we have properties here that have percentages lower than 60%. So all it is comparing 180 to the flipped property. 180 to the flip property, or any of these other houses that maybe were renovated, but we didn't have 2 transactions in a period. But this one right here, this house sold for 305. So all it's comparing is 180 to 305. So if I divide 305 into 180, that's 59%. That's what it's comparing. And if we have comps that are lower than that, then that's what we use to flag properties as a deal, is when it matches your deal criteria.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
So we're not saying that this house is worth 305. We're saying here's the comps. We run all the calculations and we show you the comps that support the percentage of ARV that's lower than what you need for it to be a deal.
Perfect.
Benson, can I real quick? So I have a hedge fund that I'm in my 30-day challenge. I think I told you about this, where I go to a market with no money, new market. It's the new market, no money challenge. And I'm using Privy because we all know Privy, you shouldn't cancel, but you get your money back, right? It's a 30-day money back guarantee, right? So, hey, don't cancel anybody. I'm just saying that's how I'm able to get into this challenge with no money, get into this use Privy. So anyway, I found a hedge fund, and they gave me their buy box criteria. They said Henry County, Clayton County, and this is in Atlanta, by the way. And I think you have the MLS data in Atlanta, right?
We do.
Yeah. So it's Henry County, Clayton County, and DeKalb County, 3 2s, anything above 3.2, anything above 1,000 square feet. And they say for it to be a deal, most of the time you have to get it under 250. So I can put that directly into Privy and get all those opportunities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wanted to say to see if I set it up right? Because when I search on Privy at the moment, I just kind of do the search area, kind of like press the button and look, and it's worked for me. But can I actually go through it just to make sure I'm doing it right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I've got a hard stop in 4.
Oh, well, let's see if I can get it done real quick. All right.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So I'm in Atlanta right here.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go to filter, I can go to put specific zip codes. Is that correct?
You can do multiple zip codes separated by commas.
Okay. Or you can't do county though, right?
You can
do by county.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got DeKalb County, GA. Let's just go with that one. So single family, active. I want actives. Let's just say 75% because that's what they said. Then I go price. They don't want anything above 250. Well, they didn't say above 250, but let's just try that. Bedrooms, they want at least 2 baths, and beds they want at least 3. And then they want 1,000 square feet at least.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, right? So then I just run the search.
Yep.
So this gives me all the opportunities that are under 250 that meet their criteria that I can make offers on to this hedge fund, get them under contract, submit them, and that's it. Bam.
That's it. That was that simple. I mean,
That's simple. Yeah, I love it.
Now you want to go in and just look at the comps, right? And just make sure that all the comps that we're using to say that it's lower than 75% are relevant. So click that one right there, for example.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then go down to the comparable section.
All right.
Right. So you got that main one that went on Wake Forest. That's your key comp right there. The
This
one that's
one
on
right
Wake.
Oh, Wake right here.
Yeah.
This one?
Mm-hmm. The one on Wake. That's the one that our system looked at. So that one was flipped.
Okay.
They got it for 225, sold it for 340. Right. So the ARV on that one, on a similar house in the same neighborhood, that's a 3.2. That's within 15%. It is slightly larger. It's probably getting on the fringe of what would be considered 15%, but in a lot of areas they use 20%, so it's not really even a big deal.
Yeah.
The lot size could be something to consider there, but that puts it at 65%. So are you probably lower than 75? Yeah, I think after making some adjustments, you would be.
Yeah. So this is saying that they purchased the property at 65% and then resold it. So if I can
No. It's saying that 220 is 65% of 340.
Okay, 220 is 65% of 340. Okay, not this one. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that math would actually be on the before and after. If you go to the little information icon on Wake Forest,
right here,
and you scroll down to the before and after, it'll tell you the percentage that was 66%.
Got it. Sweet. That's amazing. So if you can find a hedge fund or a solid buyer just like that, and they give you exactly their criteria, you set it up, you start making calls. It's as simple as that. Taking that action. Well, hey Benson, I appreciate you coming on here.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm sorry I just jumped in out of the blue, but I've been wanting to get on one of these for a while. I hope it wasn't intrusive.
Oh no, this is amazing. Every Friday we do this deal finding Friday. So anytime you're able to pop in, what we'll do is we'll find deals and we'll call them, and everyone can watch it and see how we network with agents. Yeah, and again, remember, it's not always you do try to want to get the deal, but don't just think that's it. Networking is huge, because if it's not that deal, you can get the next one through that relationship. So remember that, everybody.
100%. Nathan, it was nice to meet you, man. We got to do another call, another follow-up.
All right. Hey, it's good seeing you, everybody.
Well,
Thanks.
the Val.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I already know you, Payne.
I know the two Nathans doesn't make it easy.
Yeah, man. It was good to talk to you.
Good seeing you again.
But nice to see you both. Thanks for having me on, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
All right.
Yeah, Benson, appreciate it.
All right, bye, guys. Good luck with the challenge.
Everybody.
You guys join the challenge.
Join the challenge. Yes.
Join the challenge. What are you doing here? If you're not on the challenge, what are you doing?
That's
really?
Right. And hey, hit up Henry if you want to help him in Houston. He could. It's all about networking. Okay. All right. So he said, not sure how to get notified about this, but I'm getting notified. I am notified again. So just to anybody that's watching this on our challenge, we're doing a 30-day challenge where we're going to a new market that we've never been in with no money, and we're getting a deal within 30 days. So everybody can watch that. It's on our Facebook group, Painless Wholesaling group. Nathan goes live. He does it full-time. I do it part-time. And that's it. Yeah. And we do this deal finding Friday every Friday at 10 o'clock and this on Privy. So, all right, guys, let's take action. If you need anything, peace out.
Later, guys.
Bye, Henry.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Henry.